And we're live. Hello, Internet and Facebook. Yes, it's a special episode. I have a guest star that's not John Coffey. And not the producer. She's behind the camera. As someone mentioned for the last video, how about pairing Ale 8 and bourbon? And when I think of Winchester and Ale 8, someone who I see at 4 o'clock drink it quite often came to mind. So I reached out, and Mr. Cruse was generous enough to come and help us judge our Ale 8 pairing, i.e. the Kentucky cocktail.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, love having you here, Winchester native.
Yeah, born and raised, yeah.
So no,
Grew up on it. That was in the bottle, as they said. You know, when I was a toddler, you know, dentist would be appalled, but that's what my mother would put in the bottle.
You got the kid. We really in this together.
That's real.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So we're gonna pair 4 different blind cocktails with Ale 8 and Buffalo Trace, Wild Turkey, Four Roses Small Batch, and Maker's Mark.
Okay.
So how we'll do it is just, you know, it's going to be 3 conditions. First of all, it's a cocktail, so we want to know, does it taste good?
Right.
Second, does it pair well with the soda?
Right.
And finally, you know, it's a Kentucky cocktail. If we were watching the Cats play, when they play again in March.
The intrinsic value.
Yes.
Right.
Are we going to drink this in Keeneland?
Yeah.
Waiting for the ponies.
We're looking for the intangible.
Yes.
This makes sense. This is, well, it is you put the stamp on, this is a Kentucky beverage. Yeah.
So it's 1.5 ounces of the bourbon, a few dashes of orange bitters, and topped with the Winchester water.
Yeah. You know the way I do it, though. Here's the way I do it. First of all, I use diet. Yep. Now, hear me out, though. Hear me out. Here's why I do it this way. We all know it's same limestone water, so
Right.
that's why LA works so well, I think. Right. But here's what I do. I open it, take a drink of the LA, put it in the refrigerator, it has to chill, leave it there for about 5 to 6 days.
5 to 6 days doesn't make it flat.
Exactly.
Ah.
That's what
So
you
it's
want.
more like a syrup than.
It becomes a simple syrup that is L8 flavored, and I'm telling you,
That's awesome.
it is awesome.
Could you
So,
make,
yeah,
well,
that's
I know
my
your favorite cocktails in old fashioned. Were they using that for a base
You
for an old
could.
fashioned?
You could use it as a base for an old fashioned. So yes, that's what I would do. It'd get you the diet LA because the sugar, for whatever reason, it works better for me. But then I let them go flat for 5. Make sure it's chilled. It doesn't work as well if you try to cool it down with ice. Let it get chilled. Sit there 5 or 6 days in the refrigerator, and you've got a simple syrup that is fantastic.
That's awesome.
All right, I'll have to try that.
So I guess dive in and see what we think.
All right, where do you want to start?
Right to left or left to right?
Let's go left to right.
Awesome.
We'll start over here.
So your earliest memory obviously is of Ale 8 and the Sippy Cup.
Yeah. Pretty nice.
That is smooth.
Mm-hmm.
Ginger comes through real well on that. Now, do we have the same ones or different?
You have different ones.
Good. That's easier. So wait a minute, you're drinking something different than me?
Different bourbon.
Oh, a different bourbon.
Different
Right.
bourbon.
We're going to see what your thoughts are about it.
So which
Okay.
bourbon we like best?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Your earliest memory of bourbon, of course, it would be 21 on.
Obviously it would be 21 on. But yeah, I will say this, I didn't really come to love bourbon until about 5 or 6 years ago. Occasionally I would have it, I would always cut it with Coke or something, or Makers, what. And then a guy from the master distiller from Four Roses,
Rutledge or Brent?
well, I can't remember which, but one of those guys came to visit, and and I was telling him, he goes, "I want you to try this." I go, "Well, I gotta." He goes, "No, you're not. You're not gonna bastardize it." And
That sounds like Mr. Rutledge.
yeah, you're not gonna do that. You're gonna drink it just this way, the way God intended, right? And it was some special batch and it was so good, and I could taste the caramelization, and it was almost like a candy. And I was like, okay, I get it now. And since then, I've had an appreciation for it. And then I fell in love with the old fashions because the Rat Pack, that's what they drink. So I'm a big connoisseur now.
2.
All right, this is number 2.
That one doesn't play as well.
Yeah.
At least for me.
Well, this one does for me.
Awesome. Yeah, this
Mm-hmm.
Odd.
Yeah, I like this one. But now we're not; these aren't the same for us. Though.
No.
So
Right.
I'm judging something different than
Right.
you.
Judging something totally different.
So what we'll do is then have you
At the end,
what you
we'll
like
open it
first.
up.
You can put into an order, and we'll see.
Okay.
Usually, what I find first and last are easy. It's usually the middle two that you start
Right.
picking your down.
Yeah.
So, stuck on a desert island. If you got to be with one bourbon, what's your core?
Well, right now, well, Fort Roses is pretty good for me, but Woodford, Carson's Restaurant came out with their special blend. It's a double oak called Snake Eyes, and that's as good as bourbon I've ever tasted.
They're double, especially their picks are amazing.
So good.
This is much better. That's smooth.
Yeah, that one's
really
that one's okay.
I wonder if that's the same one I had as two.
Maybe. Not a lot going on there, I didn't feel. This is our last one.
Last one until we revisit.
Mm-hmm.
That's light.
Yeah, that last one's very. This is light too, but not as light as that one.
So I haven't heard you guys say the Kentucky aspect of each one of those yet.
That'll be second round.
Was that second
Yeah.
round? Okay.
This is just
All right.
and first impressions. You walk in and what's the prettiest looking girl in the place,
Right.
and then you kind of get an impression. Of
Yeah, and you can have a conversation with her and realize, okay, I'm
Yeah.
done.
So how did you and Haley meet?
Well, it was a prisoner release program, and
One of those
they
grabby things.
they wanted me to help out the system.
No, your chemistry is really good, so I know better than that.
Yeah, somebody said something about that once. But we are we worked together doing the morning show at the old place, and we just became friends and hit it off, and
You can tell you guys are friendly. There's no doubt.
there's nobody like that girl, she's one of a kind.
Especially when she breaks the driver.
Yeah,
She really do that?
yeah, she did
That's
that.
awful.
And the only thing that saved her was that we were rolling. I wasn't even supposed to be in that scene. I was just, because I had a bigger bag, I knew she'd have some difficulty, just carrying it. And then I see her get in there and it's wedged, and I'm thinking, oh boy, she's gonna. And then when I saw the head cover, I'm not supposed to be in this. Again, I had to step in and go, did you just break, I swear to God, did you just break my driver? Yeah, that was not fun for me.
No. And
But
then
it
you
was
still
good
got a
cheese.
Brazilian wax. That's awful. See, she breaks your driver and you lose a bet in the same shot.
Yeah, and she's the one who clubbed me. So she gives me I have to take whatever club she gives me. She gives me a 9-iron to carry it 170 yards. I'm not Tiger. I can't do that, With a herniated disc on top of it. Yeah, that wasn't fun either. All right, so now what are we deciding? Just first impression? Is that what we
First
want to do
impression, then I usually go back and revisit.
Okay.
They can still move.
My first impression, and maybe it's because it was the first impression,
Sure.
were these two, but this one was my favorite.
Stood out the most.
Stood out the most, yes.
What about it stood out the most?
Let me have another sip and I'll tell you. Well, I know we haven't got to that yet, but there is something to the blend of it.
Okay. So it's kind of playing well together.
Yeah, very well. Yeah.
I've kind of got a semi-ranking, but they all, like I said, usually between 2 and 3. Kind of.
Yeah.
Right now it's between 1 and 2, which is kind of
Let
surprising.
me go back to one.
It's fun.
Yeah, one wasn't bad either.
Kind of funny.
This was my least for some reason, but maybe I'll grow fond of it.
Yeah. Second, after you woken up your palate and everything.
Yeah, it's growing on me now.
It's funny how that kind of stuff works.
Mm-hmm.
So is Haley into bourbon too, or?
Yeah, her choice, she's a big soda vodka person. Club soda vodka, that's her drink that she'll get most of the time, or she'll drink Corona Light. But for some reason, anytime we're at dinner or lunch, I'll see that my old fashioned is missing a little bit,
Oh boy.
Including the cherry.
Wow, that's the good stuff there. You're down the bottom and it's soaked in bourbon for a while. It's good.
Yeah. All right.
So,
All right, so
playing wise, jeez, that's funny. 1 and 2 are the, well, 4 and 1 are the
one more pass here.
standouts. So, is it a year that you've been on at the 4 o'clock slot now?
Mhm.
Okay, how many months now?
We started in February. February
I
17th.
guess this year's just felt like a year.
Well, again, for us, we launched the talk show, and then 2 weeks into the talk show, they say, no more guests. No one's allowed in the building. In hindsight, that's a blessing to us because we sort of figured out who we are.
Mhm.
Because we stopped with the guests, what are we going to do? And we began the driving segment.
Which is incredible because it's just funny with you two guys. I mean,
Thank
and some of the,
Yeah.
like, we were talking earlier when he came in because he bought a $300 or so bracelet for a girl.
Yeah.
I love your neighbor friend who saw you on the way there. That must have just.
Well, no, that was my best friend Neil Metcalf. That's who that was. And I just was going out there to see the girls because he dated her sister. And he already, I guess Andrea, the sister, told him what she had been doing. So I get it from him first before I go out there. Just sick to my stomach.
Okay. All right. So, which one would you want to be watching the Catsman title with? The Kentucky Factor.
Yeah.
Or you hit the trifecta Keelan.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
Yeah, there you go. Whenever that happens again.
Yeah.
So,
I'm going to stick with 2 again.
Okay.
It's kind of fulfilling everything I need right now.
Perfect. Let's think of 4. Just think of 4's kind of.
I like them all,
Yes.
actually. And these 2 that I sort of dismissed in the beginning they're growing on me. And maybe the blend's starting to mix. I don't know what's going on, but they're better now.
And of the 4 I mentioned, which one do you think would probably be the one that went out of Wild Turkey or Makers and 4 Roses Small Batch and Buffalo Trace?
Yeah. That's a good question. I love my friends at Buffalo Trace over in Frankfurt, and that beautiful facility they got. It's gorgeous over there.
I don't think we have a. No, all our distilleries are pretty.
Yeah, they
The
all
only thing
are.
I dislike about Makers is you go to nowhere and take a left, and then drive for
Yeah.
another 20 minutes out there, and then you finally find Laredo.
Yeah, I don't know if you've seen our promo that we shot where we're in the movies, Lee and Haley, Cheaper Than the Movies, and we do that scene from La La Land.
oh yeah.
Yeah, we reenact that. That's above Buffalo Trace.
Oh, that's
So we're looking
yeah.
down at Buffalo Trace right there
Okay.
in Frankfurt. That's where we shot that.
I always wondered where that was.
Yep. So we waited for sunset to do it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like our friends over at Makers.
And Wild Turkey looking over the river, once they got that newer one, is pretty.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. They're doing bungee jumping over there, I think, of that one bridge.
Drink enough for the 101. I guess you gotta get that liquid courage.
And who's our other one? We got 4. Who's
The last one was 4 Roses, which
4
is
Roses.
that beautiful
Yeah.
Spanish mission.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
I've never been there, though.
Yes, it's gorgeous.
I admit I probably drink 4 Roses more than any other bourbon. And I've never been.
Once or twice. Yeah. I went to a birthday with my father who was amazed, and he started his eyes, because they have the 5 different yeast strains and the 2 mash bills, it's 10, and he started getting glazed in their interview, just like, why is it involved? And that was just corn and rye and water. I'm like, a little more involved than that, but yeah.
Well, I'm sure you have. You probably saw that Netflix documentary, Neat.
Yes. Oh, good.
Which got to feature Freddie. I think he was the star of the thing over at Buffalo Trace.
Freddie could probably have Buffalo Trace in one hand and read phone book, and I'd probably
Oh,
say watch it. I mean,
but,
it's just.
But they did such a good job of depicting how it's done, and it's not just just the basic as
Right.
you never pointed out.
51% corn.
No, there's time and weather and in the placement in the building in the rack house. All that stuff. It just comes to comes together to make that perfect blend or whatever it is that you're looking for, whatever the master distiller is trying to achieve.
And to think about it, that's one barrel of thousands.
Right. I mean, it really is the best hybrid of art and science a person could think of. It's fun.
It's crazy.
Yep.
All right.
All right.
I've got mine.
You got what you're going with?
Yeah, I think 4, 1, 2, 3.
All right. Wait a minute. You know, James, usually you got some crackers or something that cleanse the palate.
Actually, I got grief over that because she was like, "Do you want water? Go, it's cocktails. It's not neat bourbon."
He's making us suffer, Lee.
Yes.
Okay, good.
We got regular ale 8. That could probably clean you up between the two.
All right, here's where I'm going. I'm going 2, 1, 3, 4.
Okay.
2, 1, 3, 4.
So,
My number 1 is really. You did the fourth one is
What
number
is it?
4. A fourth one is number 4.
Buffalo Trace.
Oh wow.
That was your winner?
That was my winner.
So
Okay.
what's your winner?
My winner is...
Doesn't have a number.
I don't see a number.
Should have a number. This number fell off. I bet. Well, there's another way to forget.
Oh, 1.
1.
It's stuck to the thing.
Oh, stuck.
Wild turkey.
Wild turkey.
Chose wild turkey.
You chose wild turkey.
Interesting. Chose wild turkey.
And my last place was number 1. Wow. So my last place was turkey.
Well, we are
That's weird.
not
That's
in
definitely
agreement at all.
No. That's funny. That's usually one of my favorite go-to cocktail makers.
And I said this was my last, I think. And that is number 4,
Okay.
which is Buffalo Trace.
Yes. See, that's why you do this stuff blind. Because I bet in a million years you wouldn't pick wild turkey to mix.
No, I wouldn't have.
No.
I would not have.
And Jimmy Russell, I hope we keep him for a while. The Master Distiller, fun story.
What's number 2? Because that was my
Number 2.
second favorite. And that was a close one.
Number 2 is 4 Roses.
4 Roses, see, I knew what I was close.
And that number 3 is Makers. So that's, yeah. That was my number 2.
Yeah.
Wow, we're all over the map.
We are.
All over the map. So
Interesting.
Yeah. So we are not in agreement at all.
No.
If I'm out and about. Yeah. In fact, our second, third, and fourth are nowhere near.
No, they're not.
So when I'm going to order the cocktail going forward, I'm going to join Mr. Freddie up the road at Frankfurt, just down the road from where I work.
Right.
And you're going to go out to Lawrenceburg and join the Russell brothers.
And jump off a bridge and hope the guys get the math right on the bungee.
Yeah.
Which is funny because that's high rise, so that's a good cocktail. I like the proof on that.
Yep.
It's a really stand out. It's
It was
101.
really, it was good. So congratulations, Wild Turkey. It's fantastic.
So where can we find you out there?
Well, we're on ABC 36 Monday through Friday at 4 p.m. And then, of course, we do Best Of on Sundays at 11:30 on the same channel. But, of course, we got all the social media pages. You can find Lee and Haley on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
We'll make sure to put links in the description.
Yeah,
Yes.
we'll do that, yeah.
But yeah, I appreciate you coming out.
Hey, thanks for having me, buddy. Appreciate it. It's fun.
Talk about ALA. You got to talk to someone who
Right.
had it in the Sippy Cup would know the best on.
I know my LA, that's for sure. Again, try my trick, though.
Will do. That's an all. I still might have to do the real. Maybe I'll do there you go. Do an experiment.
Yeah. Try that.
One.
Do a blind taste test, see
blind
which one you like best. Because the diet is actually sweeter.
Because it's probably the aspartame. For
You
me.
bet.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with
No,
aspartame. I don't care what the science says.
You know, a million rats get me wrong.
Yeah, that's right.
But appreciate you joining us. Once again, James Wolverton, half of Let's Talk Bourbon, and Lee Cruse, resident expert at ALA and all things funny on Channel 36 at 4 o'clock. And we will see you guys soon. Drink bourbon, but responsibly.
Cheers.